this, I have a railing. I came home to this yesterday on the way home from my trip. Nikki sent me a text that the railing was just a picture of it to show me that it was done. My big garden this summer, one tomato plant. Then I have a lot of posts with the solar lights on them. I want to take them off of the big posts that were on the old deck and put them in the ground. Haven't gotten to it yet. But it looks much better, huh? I had taken the slide down, swisher slide, while they were away, so that will go up again this afternoon. And look at, the wind has been blowing so much. It's about 80 out and the wind is just flying. It's like 30, 40 mile an hour gusts. So I moved things, just so that it looks like my house for a little while. And I'll put everything back before I go to the airport this afternoon and pick up the family. Let me get my cup of tea. I'm falling apart still. All right. I always used to wear a mic and then I broke it so many times I gave up. I just got a new one, so hopefully this makes it easier for you all to hear me. Get a cup of tea. I just went through a whole pot already. Today is Friday morning. I put up my first video this morning of the trip, so I know you've already seen it. I did a lot of my cleanup already from the trip. So funny how different Karen and I are, considering that we're such close sisters. She packs for the apocalypse. She is ready for just about anything. I'm ready for just about nothing. I had one decent 15 by 22, I think, carry-on size for anything I had to have, which is, 3 or 4 pair of pants. Same with tops and underwear. And Karen had only bags, plastic bags, and she had things sorted into bags. Now, I'm making fun of her, but I'm really not, people. I adore her. She had food. She doesn't dare ever travel without peanut butter crackers. Because you never know, there might be a food shortage and peanut butter crackers are going to save the day. I'm making boiled eggs so I can put them in salads. And I might even make a little bit of potato salad because Karen was mentioning she's making one, and of course it got me wanting potato salad. So cold water in the pan. Gonna need a little more than that. And then I don't know if any of you use these. This is an egg pricker. It's got a little pin right there, so when you push it down on the egg, it makes a pinhole right there. It hurts. So that your eggs don't crack when they come to a boil. That's the theory. Half the time I crack them putting the pinhole in. Push it down, then I'll put it on high, let it come to a boil, and then I leave them for 20 minutes. I like them very hard cooked. Okay, that's all done. This goes in the trash. Recycle, recycle, recycle. I did all the laundry when I got home last night. This is the bladders for the water packs. So this is the one that Nikki let Karen use. I've already done mine. I had all sorts of mail from Amazon, all sorts of packages. I broke the plug to my iPad first night, I think. I tripped over it, had it plugged in, and when I got up, I tripped over it. So I had to order one so it would be waiting for me when I got home. The next night, I knocked over my cup of tea onto the phone and ruined that plug. It never dried out, and kept saying it's a risk if I plugged it in. So I finally got rid of that, and I had one here. I made a mess. I was starting to get sick. In my defense, I was starting to not feel well. I don't like not feeling well. Cover's going on the eggs. I'll listen for that to boil over. But everything else is just about back to normal. I got Squish a potty to go on top of the toilet, because that's coming up next. And then I bought her a splash pad. It's her birthday Sunday. The weekend's over. I don't know if they want it up for that, but it's about an 8-foot one, so that should be cute for her for the summer. Side of that, I think I'm under control. I was at the point in my story, episode 2, where Karen and I had walked around that marina. We, on Wednesday, went for a long walk. It's, I think it was Catherine's Valley Trail, Catherine with a C. Just a straight path, and that's what you'll see coming up. That was fun, that was nice, but it's supposed to be, very, very easy to follow the trail. I did have All Trails. I had downloaded again because I've used that in the past. Trail was fine. You had to cross the road. What you see, I've got the video of it. Oh my God. We went back and forth like ducks in a shooting gallery, trying to figure out which way to go. So Karen insisted that she had to walk into this hotel or motel to find out where this place was. Now, All Trails is showing you turn around, so it's not that hard. She walked up this massive hill to go into a hotel, and I just sat there and ignored her. When she finally came back down, the desk didn't speak English, and they didn't really know. They were going to send us in the wrong direction, and I just said, no, we're going this way. We did find it. Sorry, I just had to get up and go make sure that the kid that does the lawn was doing ours today. Worse than that, went out and yelled his name. Trevor, are you doing us today? And he shook his head yes, looking confused, and I realized it's not Trevor. Trevor's in the truck. Honest to God, I don't understand how I can do this stuff. I digress. But with Squish's birthday party this weekend, I just wanted to make sure Michael and Nikki had thought about that. Nikki thinks of everything. I shouldn't have worried. So anyway, we went from Watkins Glen, which is New York, to Connecticut, about a 6-hour drive. Karen drove most of it, I think, and together we make one brain. So, she's driving, and I would say, no, you need to do this. No. She said I was not bad, and she would tell me if I was. So, I could say cars coming up. We use that app. I use that app, Waze, W-A-Z-E. If you don't use it, I'm not sponsored. This has nothing to do with it. You really might want to think about it because it's up to date. It's up to the minute. If there's a cop on the side of the road, or if there's an accident or construction, it lets you know what's coming up in real time. And when we got to the hotel, what a relief to have a very nice bed, a room that you could trust was clean and looked good. It was just a very nice experience. I'll always speak nicely of Norwich Spa. Well, they're doing the yard. Yes, I had to close the windows. Son of a gun. It was so funny because at the spa, you have a robe and slippers that you walk around in the whole time. And there's the restaurant and people coming and going that aren't in the spa. It's very, very strange when you first do it. And when you get down to the spa, they have lockers. We got a locker, put our stuff in, walked away, went in the jacuzzi, did this, did that, came back, can't make it work. So I have to go back up to the lady at the spa desk, and English is her second language, so it was interesting anyway, but she's so funny. And, she asked us if we did it right. Of course we did it right. So she went, and it was broken. She couldn't get it to stay open or closed. So, she had to finagle it and get it open for us. Gave us the one under it. We go do some more stuff, come back, this one won't open. And I went back up and just looked at her. I said, it doesn't work. And she's going, it must be you, must be. And I'm going, ah, ah, ah. And that cracked her up. So the rest of the time we were there, she would look at me and go, ah, ah, ah. Just so nice when you treat people well and tease with them, because they tease right back with you. So that was wonderful. Karen loved her massage, especially after all the walking we had done. By then, I was already sick, so I wasn't sure if they'd let me have it. Eggs are boiling. Sure. So I wasn't sure if they'd even let me have a massage or feel comfortable with it, but she said fine. And that's hard when you're all stuffed up to begin with and they lay you on your stomach and I can't breathe. I'm trying not to panic, but it was a good massage. She did a really good job. From there, we just hung around for a short period of time, took showers, felt like $1,000,000. Left there, it was 94 when we left, and I drove home. It was less than 2 hours. And Karen had said, you know, if you're going to be out anyway, you might want to just, you know, go the extra 5 miles and go to Hannaford's so you don't have to do it. Because I knew that like the milk would be bad and a couple things. And I said, yeah. And she said, can I go too? I think that was her method, but it just made sense. So we went to Hannaford's. She got what she needed. I did my shopping, dropped her off, and got home, saw the railing. Michael reached out last night and asked if I felt well enough to get Nikki and Squish, because he's out of town. So I'm looking forward to that, even though I'm not looking forward to driving out. It's only to Providence, to the airport in Warwick, but just to see Squish and see what she has to say, and see if she still is speaking to me after abandoning her. So let me get you back to the video to watch the end of it, and I think I'll be back at the very end to tie this up. So stay tuned. This is Tuesday's walk at the Catherine Valley Trail. Can you see the deer? And Karen thinks I'm talking to her when I'm talking to the camera.
Isn't that nice? Just sitting here looking at us. We're on our way. Okay, you might want to go. You might want to. I really think you might want to. Don't you wag your tail at me.
Oh, he's going to come greet us.
Oh,
No, he's going the other way. Okay.
look at that. Still staying on the walk, and right up there is the roads. Don't walk out to the road. Don't be silly. Come on. Don't you dare.
He's just showing us the way.
That's a good girl. No. We just took a big scenic tour of a highway. I don't know why. To walk here. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Which is right on the highway.
We did find the waterfall that we were looking for, but it was on the road. We had already gone by it the day before and didn't even see it. And it was on the road. So that was a very nice walk. And then someone had reached out. One of our followers saw us walking down the street in Watkins Glen. And if you look at comments at all, she put, oh my God, I saw you. And I said, I wish you had come up to us or stopped. So we decided to get together. I had to twist her arm a little bit, but we got together after the walk Wednesday afternoon. That was very nice. Diane, it was a pleasure to meet you. It just goes to show that we all have much more in common than we have differences. So if you ever see me out and about, please stop and say hi. I feel validated. It was just fun to sit and chat. So that was really nice, and Karen and I made a new friend. That's just sad. So we did that walk, sat in for an hour with Diane. We met at a park. Came back, sat in the room a little bit. The room was not someplace that you wanted to sit in. It was just really not. Went for a walk. Karen had kept, every time we walked by Ben and Jerry's, she went, ooh, Ben and Jerry's. Ooh, Ben and Jerry's. So I said, let's go to Ben and Jerry's. And she went, I don't know. No, we're going to Ben and Jerry's. So we did. That was very nice. That's where you sat. And I'll put the picture up again of us eating ice cream. And then we were talking about what we wanted to do on Thursday. I knew that Wednesday was our last night. Tuesday was our last night. So we knew we were going to do something else. And we had talked about Sturbridge Village. That's very nice, but I don't know, we would have gotten a lot out of it. We've both been there before. And I mentioned Norwich Spa, which I love, but massively expensive. And it's not something that I do on a lark. I had taken my staff there for Christmas once or twice, and it's just really, really nice. Well, Karen was up for it, so I called, and they had room. So we got a room for Wednesday night, and yeah, we got a room for Wednesday night, and we both booked only one service. And again, look at this. We're neighbors and houses. It's just a regular neighborhood, regular house. And then in their yard are the falls. These are known for being famous on the Hallmark Channel. They were not easy to find, which is dumb, because they're right on the side of the road. But I see where they're famous on the Hallmark Channel. Look at these. And this is somebody's house. Okay, I think I want this in my backyard. Maybe I'll ask Mikey to make a water feature for me. This is the prettiest part of everything I've seen. Look at that! Right there he is. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. After what we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of hiking and walking and being exhausted, we decided on Wednesday that we would go to a day spa on the way home. So we're in Connecticut at Norwich Day Spa. Only like an hour and a half out of our way. But it felt so good. We got here earlier this afternoon, just had a very light lunch, which now, an hour and a half later, I'm already having a not so light dinner. I'm starving. And we went down to the spa just to get in the jacuzzi and the steam room and the sauna. So we're feeling happy and tired. And as soon as I eat, I won't be feeling hungry. We're going to relax for the rest of the evening. Tomorrow morning we have a reservation for breakfast. It's all part of the spa package at Norwich. And then we're both having massages, do a little more in the spa, and probably leave early afternoon. So what a gorgeous way to finish off this beautiful week of being active and then pampering ourselves. And I would do more, but I left my iPad in the car and I'm in my jammies. And I'm not getting dressed, and I'm not moving. So I'll have to talk to you more tomorrow. I'll give you a tour of the room in the morning before we leave. And then either tomorrow or tomorrow night, we'll talk in depth about how we felt about the rest of it. Have a great night, everybody. Orange cone kind of ruins the ambiance for a minute there. One more little thing. We had to stop and, of course, get gas 2 or 3 times. The last time coming home, just as we pulled up to the gas station, all the lights on the blocks around it went out. They couldn't pump gas. So it took us an extra 40 minutes of time to get back on the highway, find a gas station. You know, it never ends, but it's part of the fun. We took some back roads and found our way around. Here, the young man came to get his payment for doing the yard. And I was surprised because I hadn't heard him doing our yard. I only heard him doing the yard next door. And I said, hey, do me a favor. Can you lower the blade a little bit for this one? Make it a little short because we're having a party this weekend. And he looked so crestfallen. And I said, you already did it? Yeah. I said, oh, never mind. But the poor thing, he's telling me he's in a hurry because he wants to catch a boat. I think they were going to Block Island, him and some friends. And here he is trying to figure out a way not to let the old lady down. Poor kid. I haven't taken any meds all day because when I leave early evening to pick up Nick and Squish, I want to have my meds just kick in then. So I just broke down and took some. My head is banging against my skull. Feel like I might want to grab a quick nap before I go get them. But Nick did just reach out and said the plane is just taking off. So hopefully everything's on schedule. I have a busy, busy week. Hey, Diane, remember I talked about I didn't know what I would be doing from now on? I'm working on it. Monday, I have to go to my gastroenterologist or whatever. I don't even know what he is. So I can get my meds, the steroids, breathing. No, he's a pulmonologist. That's what he is. And Tuesday, I'm getting together with some girls that last time they saw the house was the day I moved in last February. So they'll come over. Thursday, I am going out to lunch with a friend from the salon. Thursday night, I'm going over to Bernie's with my sisters to meet my brother's new granddaughter. That's going to be a busy week for me. Very busy week for me. I'm going to try to fill it up as much as I can with things I'm comfortable with. Might be another trip or two this summer, so if you want to have a Margaret sighting, let me know. It might be in the works. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming along. Please check your subscriptions, like, subscribe if you haven't, and share. I appreciate it. Something wonderful is going to happen today. Look at us. Here we are. I think I'm done.